going on?
What up? What up?
So, getting right into it because I feel like this is going to be a good one.
Okay.
So I was reading this. Article. This interesting article on CNET.com. And it was about by this guy named Luke Lancaster. Just to give him a little credit there. He was writing about how 20% of the Earth visits YouTube. So, 20%. Now, I really don't know how they got this stat, because that's a big stat, and how the heck are they measuring everybody to get the 20%? But let's say for a second that they had every single person on the planet accounted for. Okay.
Yeah.
And that they were able to actually put this into how many people really that is.
Yeah.
So that means that there's 7.347 billion people on Earth as of 2015. Okay. So that means that 1.4 billion people visit YouTube every month. That means that at least 1.4 billion people have access to internet somewhere.
Yeah.
Now that's not a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Like 1.4 billion is not a lot of people.
Out of 7
billion? Holy crap!
What's
That's
killing
one thing.
YouTube?
And that also includes phones. Huh?
What's killing YouTube?
What's killing YouTube?
Yeah.
I don't think anything's killing YouTube. I think that's just the sheer amount of people. I mean, everybody looks at YouTube.
Yeah.
Everybody uses YouTube at some point.
That's true.
You know what I mean? This is every month, 20% every month, and they're not talking daily.
What?
Like everybody uses YouTube at some point, for something. Even if it's just to look up like how to use
wash YouTube.
my dog. Yeah, how to wash my dog, how to lick a lollipop to the core. In three licks.
How
or
to
whatever.
Google search.
Whatever. How to Google YouTube.
How do you Google?
Believe it or not, there's people that probably do search that. But here's the interesting part. Okay, so there's 321.4 million people in the U.S. alone. Okay.
Yeah.
And all together, and then in Europe it's 743.1 million. That's all of Europe. Okay. So, I mean, right there, man. There's your stat. That's Europe and the United States make up a billion and more.
Damn.
So dude, there's a lot of people on this world, man. That's how many people.
There's a lot of people in this world that don't know who we are.
that don't know, and on top of that, that don't have access to YouTube. Otherwise, I think they would be using it at least once a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Huh. And
like that's not a lot of people.
And that's
it's
not
the amount of the U.S. and and that's not counting Mexico, Canada, nothing. Because remember, it's 1.4 billion people that access YouTube every month.
Damn.
So my question is now the population that I gave you is from the United States, in which a lot of the United States is internet access. Okay. And Europe, I don't know so much about that, so I will say that I guess some of it is, most of it is, but I wouldn't say most of the populated areas are, but then there's some outskirt areas, I'm sure. But I mean, can you imagine that, man? I'm not even including Canada in there. I'm not even including Mexico, where they have internet. I'm not including any of the other countries in the world, Asia, Japan, that have access to the internet.
Yeah.
Russia. I'm not
Korea.
including any of those. Korea, yeah, also, man. And so how many people from the United States and Europe don't have internet? That's my question.
A lot.
Yeah, there's no way to gauge it. That's crazy, dude. I don't know. It just brought it into perspective. Like just the fact that I don't know, man. It's just a lot of people that don't have access to watching YouTube. Like I don't think about that ever.
Should we change our marketing plan then? Should we go to Twitch?
But isn't it interesting though? Like can you imagine, man? If I wonder what the world would be like if everybody had access to this stuff. that was my first thinking.
Pretty shitty is how I feel.
You really think so?
Think of this.
Honestly, man,
how much bullshit videos are there out there? And how many more do you think there would be if people had YouTube?
But those videos don't affect your daily life. Like you're not gonna have an issue. You just don't watch it. Simple as that.
Yeah. But it also then it hides all the other traffic.
I guess it could, but again, I mean, if you're creating content that's worth it, man.
True.
Hide it.
Google shouldn't censor us, you whore.
I mean, it's interesting to me because, like, let's say that everybody had access to YouTube and everybody was able to feel connected in some way. I wonder if that would change. Like, I wonder if that would change people's mentality and people's togetherness. I feel like a lot of us are still really, really disconnected from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And some people may choose to want that. They may choose to do that. And that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But just the fact that like our connectedness is kind of an illusion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not it's not concrete yet. There's still
many, work in progress.
Most of the
man.
world, this is a new thing. Yeah, like most of the world is not even. Most of the people in the populated world, in the modernized world, are also still not connected to the internet.
Yeah.
Because those numbers do not come from the U.S. and Europe alone. There's many other countries that have access to the internet.
Yeah.
And I doubt that once a month somebody doesn't visit it for some reason. All they have to do is click on a video.
It's interesting. I guess I've always just kind of mentally pictured that, most of the world has internet at this point. And I know there's still a small portion. I mean, I've been to a lot of those parts of the world where like, oh yeah, there's no way there would be internet. But then they surprise me and they go, oh yeah, we have Wi-Fi. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, oh, okay, we're in the middle of nowhere, but all right. Like, it's just, like, I knew the whole world wasn't involved with, like, the internet and then, like, really connected, but I didn't think the number was that low. I was picturing it a little higher when you were saying those numbers. Like, I was picturing maybe 3 billion of the population is, like, connected. At least half.
Well, and see, and now you're saying this is why I brought it up to you, because I know you've traveled and you've spent time in places where it's really you're very remote. And so that was going to be my question to you. Like, so this is surprising to me. So you told me that they had Wi-Fi?
Oh yeah, a lot of the places were.
So they had Wi-Fi, they had YouTube. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I'm not gonna lie. Most of our time out there, like if we had Wi-Fi and there's signal, I'd be playing. At the time we were watching like Bad Lip Reader. Where I was putting on YouTube. I was like, hey, let's watch this video, because that was the only thing I was working. So it was, but that wasn't everywhere. In parts that I wouldn't expect it would have it. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Didn't think you guys would have it, or they would have. A lot of them now have satellite. They have places that you wouldn't expect to have, like cell phones that actually can run it, but they just. What it's come down to is YouTube is a luxury thing. Like, you only go on there if you have the time or, the luxury to use your data. And in most countries that are like first world, yeah, they would. Everywhere else, they don't care for YouTube. They're like, we have some internet, but it's not the best internet, so they don't even bother with it, kind of thing. Yeah, just because they have it doesn't mean it's good. Sometimes you're like, oh yeah, they got signal, like 10 megabytes per second.
But you have to imagine that those. I mean, the reason why those numbers surprise me. Now, let me again, if maybe people are not understanding why this is surprising, is because of what I initially said about the population of the United States. So that number, 1.4 billion, can be counted by the population of the United States and Europe and all of Europe. Okay, so like that right there, it's just I'm just saying that all that number is completed by those two places. all of Europe and the United States. So I know that there's other countries that have internet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But that means that within the United States and within Europe, there is still a lot of people without internet because obviously we don't make up the whole of that number. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then there's also there's same thing with like digital downloads compared to hard copies. Like they don't count digital download purchases for anything. So like there could be a lot of things that they don't count for those numbers. Like really? Like that's like I bet you some of those.
All you have to do is visit. All you have to do is visit YouTube.
Yeah, all you gotta do.
Visit. You don't even have to like.
It comes.
It can be browsing.
Wait, does it still
be browsing?
Does it still come installed in your phone?
Yeah, most of them, most Google.
Yeah,
phones,
most of them do.
Well, all you have to do is visit it though, man. Sometimes you're just like you're on an article or something, and like it's simple as that. The freaking the article has a YouTube video link.
Yeah.
And you click on it, you know.
Well, most people don't realize they're even on YouTube now.
No, you just go on it. You're like, oh.
You're like, I just watched the video. Where do you think you watched it from?
Well, I don't know. Why would people be hostile?
Because.
Where do you think you got it from, bro?
Where the do you think you got that from, huh? Huh? I was like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah, why would they be so hostile?
I got it from Hulu. Like, get the out.
Holy crap, man. Yeah, like I was just thinking like, what the heck? Why are they so hostile right now? Anyway, man, I just thought that was interesting to know. Like, just like kind of put it out in perspective for people to like, hey, think about this, man, because this is like, hey, we take for granted
how lucky we are.
How lucky we really are. We really do. It's I mean, I was just born in this country, man. You know, like I don't even know, and I try to remind myself all the time, you know, how lucky I am. Especially when I'm like just kind of like, man, like, there's nothing, you know, blah 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 blah. You know, those classic days.
Nothing going on, bored as shit.
Yeah. But you're like, dude, you know what though, man? And then you're like, you know what? I wish I was like living like I was saying this the other day. Like I wish I was like living in like. Oh my God, no!
You wish you were what?
I want to die! I wish I was living on like an island where there's just nothing going on. And like, I know people on those islands would love to go live in a place where I live.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's so many people that would trade places with me. They'd be like, yeah, you want to go, you know, be a hero in Africa? Man, go ahead. I'll trade with you.
Yeah. I was like,
you know what I mean?
And like,
it's just like, it's such a, I don't know, like a romanticized idea of what these people have. I don't know what it is, but I just realize, man, like I think that I'm speaking out of turn when I say like, oh, I wish I had that, or I wish I had this to experience, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's not as great as we think it is when we're actually living in it. That's what I think. You know.
I feel you.
And you know, I don't know. Like I said, you lived in those. You actually like traveled and lived in those areas, so you have more input on this than I do. Like, what did it make you think about? You know, living in these places that did not have internet, did not have access, but like you found out, and yet they were kind of coexisting between that and. Like, did you feel like these people wanted to be elsewhere, or were they happy there?
No, it was like they were. It was an interesting realization that like. Everyone adapts, no matter what. Like everyone adapts. So, even the like, I mean, I was at a section where it was nothing but like a tribe people in their huts, and then one of the huts had this satellite on it. I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, that's our market, and it's just a hut that you go inside, and the guy's got a fridge, and he had beer. And then he had like a mini TV. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, we are literally in the middle of nowhere. How are you doing this? And it was like, oh my God. Like, it was just, you know, it was interesting to see like everyone had cell phones. And you're like, oh, I didn't really think about that. In a place where you don't think they would have it, they do. Like, everyone adapts.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man. That whole like when I was reading the article, it just kind of hit me, and he goes on to say too, like a couple different things. because he's just kind of going on about here, YouTube with projects and all that, and like they have, it looks like. So they're trying to. This kind of came from the idea that they're trying to adapt YouTube to more devices and everything.
Yeah.
So, it's actually kind of lame. The guy really doesn't go into anything else. I don't know why. He just doesn't. So, like, if you want to go read the article, go for it, I guess. But there's really nothing. He opens with that and then just doesn't, and then ends the article with just saying that they want to just bring it to more devices so it's more accessible to people. But I just thought there was a more interesting story there with the 20%, the idea. Now, even if that 20% is a bloated number, which I really do think it is, because I think it's either more or less, but I don't think we have an accurate reading really.
No.
But I don't know, man. It's just a lot of people that really don't have access, or don't go on YouTube, and it leads me. And because YouTube is such a common platform, and such a common place for people to watch videos, I just don't see it where once a month somebody wouldn't visit it if they had access to it.
Yeah.
So this is why I was like, this is a good stat for people that kind of want to have an idea, I think, of how many people do have access.
Yeah.
Because people that have access to internet is different than people who can use the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can have access to internet, but it's so slow you can't even stream a video.
Exactly.
So that's why I like this stat a little more.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, this means that they're actually streaming a video and watching it. So.
Well,
anyway,
it's interesting.
that's it, man.
A lot of people
Just,
that were missing
yeah,
in the field, apparently.
It's just something to think about. That's all it is.
I guess,
Just wanted to
we're trying to get all the subscribers now. It's like now I can only get 1-point-something billion people.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, right? What a bummer. Fuck, man. I wanted the whole world.
Well, anyway, man.
But, yeah.
All right. Well, that was my 2 cents on that.
Fair.
Oh, fair? Thanks, bro.
I was going to say fair enough, but I'm like, that doesn't really make sense.
Fair. Truly.
So I just stuck with fair.
Yeah. Oh, these are really shiny. All right, guys. Well, if you have any comments on it, this is like more of a conversational thing. Just let us know.
Yeah. Do you YouTube? If so, like and subscribe to our channel, and comment on the page. Thank you.
Or thanks. You guys can always reach us at Xpression Player, and email at xpressionplayers@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And you guys have a good night.
Yeah. Please and thank you.